You're watching Tech Talk in affiliation with Tech for Techs. We're a community that supports independent trade with the help of vendors and distributors. We're live every Thursday at 8 p.m. London time, and we'll be streaming to Facebook and YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. You can listen to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, Google, TuneIn, and many more. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, and your host, Philip Griffiths.
Welcome to Tech for Tech Tech Talk. This is a live show where we discuss different ways to help your IT business grow. My name is Philip Griffiths, and start that bit again. Can get my name right. My name is Philip Griffiths, and I'm your host for today. Today's episode is working remotely with ISL Online. Today we are joined by Will and Joe from ISL. And let's have a look. So, Joe, if you would like to introduce yourself, I'm going to you first, try and confuse you, and let everyone know who you are and what exactly you do.
Sure. Hi, I'm Joe. I'm from ISL Online UK. I work on the technical side of ISL Online as part of the development team and also the technical support team. And I'm here today to provide any of the more technical details and also answer any technical questions that might come through.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. And let's go on to you, Will, if you would like to introduce yourself and let us know exactly what it is you do.
Hi guys, so I'm Will. I'm kind of a customer care specialist, so I deal with customers, partners, everyone in between. I make sure everyone's happy and knows what we do. Simple as that.
Okay, that sounds pretty straightforward and clear. Right, okay guys, if you are watching in the Tech for Tech Facebook group, make sure you click on that link I'm going to share in the chat in a second when I can actually find it. That will allow your name to be shown properly in the live chat, and you won't just be called Facebook user. Okay, so that's just for people in the Tech for Tech Facebook group. Make sure you click on that chat.restream.io/FB. That just allows Facebook to share your name if you want to be seen. And hello everyone who's tuning in. So we've got Peter saying evening, we've got Macaulay saying hi all, just walking the dog but managed to tune in. That's good. Was it you walking the dog or was a dog walking you, Macaulay? Right, okay, we've got David saying hi, evening from Marianne as well, Facebook user as well, I can see in here, and we've got a few others as well which have just disappeared. I think Richard Creedy, Kevin, Cormac as well from Ireland. He's known as the King of Ireland, so we've got royalty on the show, just to let you know. Okay, so right, let's go on to the main show. First of all, guys, if you are watching, and well, obviously, hopefully you are watching or listening, if you have any questions for the guys at ISL, feel free to ask the questions. We're going to address some before the presentation or demo of the product, and then we'll be doing some more after as well. So just feel free to ask away, and the guys will answer what they can. Right, so let's go on to the first question then we've got from you is, what does ISL Online stand for?
Great question, Phil. So when we started up in 1999, we were researching it, and we decided to go and develop the remote desktop, and we released in 2001. And ISL Online means Internet Services Layer. So we were pretty much in the, I suppose, in purgatory. We weren't really well known, but that's because we were OEM integrated with some known solutions. So we weren't a standalone solution. At first, we wanted to make sure that these companies could take us in. And in fact, now we're actually #1 in Japan. So that's fantastic. And hopefully, we're going to be #1 worldwide one day.
Okay, so that's a good start then. So, got a time scale on being #1? Maybe next week, or?
Oh, I absolutely wish.
You
I
never
absolutely
know.
wish.
You never know if the show does well. You may be #1 next week. Right. So who uses your software then? Who's it for?
So our somewhat focus, and we have had a large group of help desks use our solution because it's used by professionals. So people who know IT and know it back to front, they need a solution that is guaranteed and reliable. So that's the majority of what we focus on. However, that being said, it's for everyone. Small, medium, enterprise solutions, even your average Joe. You know, everyone can use it. It's really, really simple. I'll show you in a bit later how simple it is to use. But we're mainly used by help desks because we can integrate really easily. We can customize. We can do all your bits and bobs all in one package. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and recently in this last year, it's been really useful for companies that need a solution to work from home, and people have obviously needed that very quickly. And remote desktop software has been in the perfect position to allow that service with little to no barrier to entry, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah, I must admit, remote access software does make things a lot easier, especially when you're locked in your home. Right. So, what is your business model then?
Okay, perfect. So we focus on one thing. So it kind of takes out all the others. We focus on concurrent sessions. So meaning that you can have unlimited users, unlimited devices. So companies these days, you know, they might have 400 employees and think, do I need every single one of them on there? Do I need them for their laptop and their office computer plus their home? No, we don't make it any hassle. So you pay for what you use, you know, and that means that you can have one concurrent session and everyone in the entire company can use it. You know, even if you're some big fish, even a small one, anyone can use it, so long as it's one at a time per concurrent license. So that's how we work there. We have right now 3 kind of main products. We have our SaaS or cloud solution. So this is the hosted service. We also have an on-premise solution. So this is self-hosted. It means that you buy it once, it's yours for life. We won't nag you anymore. We'll just say, hey, we made some updates. Here you go. There you go. Have it. We also have another one, which is the managed private cloud. So this is kind of the creme de la creme. We have all the benefits from SaaS and all of the benefits from self-hosted. And the great part about it is that it's managed by us. Not in all cases, but in the case that some client just wants this solution to be run, they're a help desk or they're a multinational corporation or whatever it might be, they use it, we guarantee almost 100% uptime. So you don't have to worry about a thing. So I'll go back to the SaaS license. So our SaaS license is essentially a client server based. So that means that you're not hosting on each other's computers. You're hosting through secure servers of our choosing, or in the case that you use our on-prem or self-hosted, a server of your choosing, not a problem. So that means that if one server goes down, not a problem. We'll just transfer it over to another one, guaranteeing you uptime, and that means that you can resolve the issue instantaneously, which is perfect in this day and age. So Then we also have our self-hosted. So the self-hosted, you don't really need to know too much about it, but it helps. You know, it really does help because it allows you to customize to your liking. So you can't customize everything with the SaaS, but that's because everyone else uses it. With self-hosted, you can do what you want. You can have a specific requirements, security requirements. We'll go into that a bit later. You can have all types of branding. You can choose the colors, everything you want. You know, it's fantastic. The SaaS, you do have options for customizations, but they are limited, knowing that you're not the only company using this this cloud. The managed private cloud, it's your own SaaS, your own cloud set up many different places. One such example, I won't name the company, but they have 3 different countries: Canada, Turkey, and Kazakhstan. And so they need guaranteed uptime, and they need to make sure that their operators, no matter which country they're from, can resolve that issue instantaneously. So they also are kind of security conscious. So that means that with their own private cloud, peace of mind, because no one else is going to enter it. It's all for you, managed by us.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. What does ISL Online do to ensure your client's security?
Okay, I'll just give the basics and then I'll pass to Joe. He loves all those details. So essentially what kind of separates us is that we are client to server, as I mentioned before. So none of this hosting on each other's PCs or devices. You go through a secure network and secure server with a couple of other additional security benefits. Maybe Joe, do you want to explain those benefits?
Yeah, I mean, the main thing is with that client server model, obviously there are concerns regarding encryption these days, and don't worry, any session that goes through the ISL Online servers is encrypted end to end. That means any data transfer between the 2 computers of your remote desktop session are completely private and can't be intercepted. On top of that, with the different models, we can increase the security. It's obviously already at an industry standard for our cloud service, but certain companies want to maximize it. And if that was the case for certain companies, then we'd recommend the self-hosted or our managed private cloud model. But let's say in the case of our cloud solution, we also make sure there's complete session transparency. So we have to make sure that each customer that's connecting to an ISL Online session is aware that they're connecting to it. And maybe lots of people have seen stories of remote desktop scams and so on. This is the idea of that feature, to make sure that the user knows someone's connecting to them. That's really, really important for us. On top of that, all of our applications are code signed, and yeah, I think. Oh, and your users can add 2-factor authentication. Of course, it's completely standard these days and absolutely essential and recommended by us too.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. I think you touched on the next question slightly already, but can you personalize the software?
Yes, absolutely you can. So I'll go through the couple of options with SaaS. So SaaS, you can have your own branded access point. So it looks like it's coming from your website. So it gives that kind of guarantee that your company is in charge of providing that resolution, that solution, and you don't know, oh, who's trying to connect with me, you know? So then you also have custom logo and some colors and whatnot, so that it looks like it's your solution, not ours, it's yours. So what I mentioned at the very beginning is that maybe we weren't as renowned, but that's because we were integrated with OEM. We gave the ability for this remote desktop for everyone. You know, we didn't say, hey, this is a standalone product. No, have it. It's all yours. Use it. You know, resolve any issue instantaneously. Perfect for us, perfect for you. Joe, maybe you can give some more details about some other customizations.
Yeah, so all the applications can be fully customized with your logo, your colors, but we can even go as far as to changing the installation directory names. So you really can make it look like your own product. This is actually a really useful security feature as well, because we already mentioned about session transparency, but your customers will want to know that it's you connecting. If they see some ISL Online session, they probably don't know who ISL Online are, or maybe they will. Let's hope they will in a few years. But for now, maybe they don't recognize the name, in which case you want it to show your own brand. And that's what this enables you to do. And yeah, all the web pages on the self-hosted model can be fully customized. And integrations can be done into any other solutions that you have. If you want to do a CRM or your help desk tools, then that's possible too.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. Just a message for the guys in chat. If you are watching from the Facebook group, make sure you click that link I'm putting in the chat, and it should be in at the moment. If I put it in again, there we go. That allows your name to be displayed on the live show. Otherwise, you'll just come up as a Facebook user as you have there. And also, call me. Stop flirting with Marianne, will you please? Okay, I can see you. Okay, so I probably got him in trouble with his girlfriend now, but who cares? Right. Right. So, how do I know if ISL Online is right for my business?
Well, there's a simple solution to that. Try it out. So we offer a 15-day trial for our SaaS, so our cloud solution. All yours. You can use the feature unlimited. You are capped at 2 concurrent sessions, but that's more than enough, especially for testing. And if you do need more and your company is really wanting to know, hey, maybe I want to try 5, not sure, that's fine. Give us a ring, give us an email, come to our live chat, and we'll be able to sort something out. If you need it and you are wanting to find some sort of level where your business would be at on terms of how many licenses you need, we're more than happy to accommodate. On top of that, so we have our self-hosted solution. So we do offer a bit more time for this, mainly because it does take a bit of time to get all the customizations to your liking, and therefore we offer 30 days. So go to the islonline.com and sign up. You can create a SaaS account, and you can even take the server license, not a problem. Also, which is great today, there'll be a link in the description below, a pay-per-use coupon. So all you have to do is just mention this show, and you have 500 minutes on top of the other 2 trials that we mentioned before. So peace of mind. If you like it, let us know. If you don't, well, what can I say?
Yeah, I'm going to say that's pretty good, to be honest, because it's like 70 quid's worth of minutes for free, basically. Obviously, I know you have other packages as well with different amounts in and stuff like that, but you get basically getting £70 worth of free time, basically. So if you've got that on a free account, I think basically the yearly basic option you sell, isn't it? That is about £70 anyway. So you're pretty much getting that for free for a year. So that sounds pretty good to me. So guys, make sure you just give them an email. Just try it out, even if you're not sure or whatever. It's not going to cost you a penny. So best thing to do is give that a go. And
so on this though, with the pay-per-use coupon, so as I mentioned before, if you take our 15-day trial for a SaaS, you do have 2 concurrent sessions. With the pay-per-use coupon, you have unlimited amount of sessions, and you have unlimited amount of concurrent sessions, devices, users. All it needs is it takes away the minutes. So you start a couple of sessions, you start with 6 operators, and all it means is every single session will start deducting from that. So that's also a really good gauge as to how many concurrent sessions you'll need if you are, I suppose, cloudy in terms of the specific number, and you don't want just 2, you want more. Pay-per-use coupon, all yours.
Okay, sounds pretty good, that does to me. So, right, I think you guys have got a live demo or presentation you want to run, don't you? So if you want to fire that up, we'll have a look at the actual software and stuff. Well, whatever you're going to show off. I'm presuming you're going to show off your software and not someone else's, but if you want to let us know exactly what you're doing, and we can go from there. I'm just going to turn the chat off for now, guys, and let's just say evening to James first, evening to Richard, and yeah, basically you just missed Cormac flirting. It's quite hilarious, actually, watching it, but there we go. Anyway, so let's go on to the presentation.
All right, fantastic. So it's really simple to start a session. So if I'm the operator, okay, if I'm trying to provide a client with some help, all I need to do is I can either go into the web client by logging in just here, or what I can do is I can take the application. And in this instance, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the application. So this is ISL Lite, and we also have an ISL Lite client. So when I log in, oh, there we go. When I log in, you'll see 2 things. You'll see sessions on top and computers. So right now, what you're looking at is our on-demand support. Okay, meaning that the operator doesn't know the client or the client doesn't know the operator. So what they're allowed to do is they can share a session code, they can share the URL, or they can invite them via email. So what I'm going to do is I am going to start a session. And what happens is a little pop-up will come. Now you can click this and you can say copy URL, session code, and open as an email. In this instance, what I'll do is I'll just let Joe join this. So he's going to take that session code. I might be on the phone with him and I might say, hey, Joe, I'm just sending you a session code via email. Is that okay? And he go, yeah, absolutely. You can put this in a few ways. All right. You can easily join a session and put that code right here. Or if he is using email, then I can send him directly to the email. So right now, we're logged on to Joe's computer. So I'm just going to take one of his screens right now. So it's all blank. Okay, so I'll just run you through some of the features. One of the most important things for an operator is, as Joe mentioned before, transparency and also a quick resolution. They need someone to provide a solution in a small amount of time. You know, 5 years ago, you would have to ring the person up. They would have to drive to the office, look over your shoulder and say, that's wrong. Now we can do it in under 10 seconds, if you please. All right. So right now, we're looking at Joe's computer. You have the toolbar at the top, and we'll go through the list of features. So if at any point in time, Joe is a bit stumped and he's not allowing me to control his PC, not a problem. I can show him what I'm doing through my PC. In this instance, I'm not going to share my screen. Okay, but if I needed to, all I need to do is press this and boom, he'd be able to see what I'm doing and he'll be able to follow very, very easily. What we can also do is if you need to go, or if the operator's, shift goes, oh, sorry, it's 5, I got to go, sink a beer, whatever you need to do. What he can do is he can easily transfer that session the same way as what we did before by sending an email invitation or copying the URL and putting it into another chat that they might have within the company. What we can also do is if you are onboarding a new staff member, or if you do need some assistance and you need your boss to come in, whatever it might be, you can invite an operator and send it the exact same way, and then they can join your session with you. So this is a fantastic training tool, especially if you are a help desk provider and you have someone coming in and they go, oh, I don't know this question, this is such and such, or hey, do you want to actually just come in and check it out? Not a problem. He doesn't need to even leave the safety of his own home. He can do it all from here. So right now, we also have the option to use RDP. Okay. Joe, do you want to explain a bit about RDP?
Yeah, so in the case where maybe you want to connect via a particular protocol, let's just use RDP for an example, but you can also use SSH or your own custom protocol as well. An issue often is that you might not be able to access through the firewall if you're in a different network to that computer. Well, ISL Online gives you the option to connect via a tunnel. So it goes via our server and then onto that computer. So you're using a secure tunnel to go through our server rather than going directly through their firewall. So it means you can actually get through instead of being stuck at the firewall. So the idea is you can still use the protocols you're used to, RDP, SSH, whatever you want. But you can do it securely without making any changes to your firewall or configuring anything on the remote end.
Perfect. Thanks, Joe. So we also have a couple other great features, especially for any sort of company, large or small. We have file transfer or file manager. So we have a Norton style commander, but we can also send and receive individual files. So in this instance, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to display what I need to display. Okay. And right now I can send him anything. So I can send him something that I've been working on. I can send him a script. I don't need to, put it on a USB anymore, drive down to his place and go, here you go, mate. And then he needs to load it. I can do it in a pinch. We can also receive things. So especially for log files or something in terms of their system information or whatever that we might need to investigate an issue further, or the help desk needs something in particular, they can use this and boom, you have it right in front of you. This also depends on your network, but it's the same sort of speeds that you would be used to in your home. We also have chat service. So right now I can chat with him. And this can also be integrated with one other of our products, which is ISL Pronto, which is our chat service. So with ISL Pronto, we can start a session and we can chat with him just in the same way. You can see here, look at that. Hello, Will. Hi, Joe. We can also have the opportunity to video call and call, which is great, especially if you need to go through some nitty-gritty details and you don't want to type it all. We've all been through that. One feature which is also fantastic for us is the ability to not only select the region, but to select which monitor we want to choose. Most people working from home, and probably most people watching this video, will have 2 monitors in some capacity. And so this is great that if I want to show the client one, or if the client just wants to show me just one monitor or select one region, he can do so quite easily. So right now, I'm going to switch over to 1 and you'll be able to see it. So 1, 2, easy as that. What we can also do is go back and just show the desktop, what he's actually looking at with both monitors. In this case, I won't. I'll just go back to 2 because it's quite small and then it'll start going into a labyrinth. One other handy feature is if, as an operator, you might be on the move, okay? Or you might be working on a smaller laptop and you're connecting to a client who has a much larger resolution or much larger display. What we can do is we can actually enlarge it so we can see it at a bit higher standard, all right? And you can do this a couple of ways. You can use it here on the top, or you can use this little settings and just go view options, and it will give you everything that you need. Perfect, right? Okay. One other handy feature, I mentioned before that I can share my screen. But if Joe kind of says, Will, I can't see, what are you looking at? You know, what are you doing? And he doesn't want me to control this PC, not a problem. I can circle it. All good, nice and red. I can also get rid of it really, really easily. Click of a button. And if he says, oh, that's too messy, make it a bit easier for me to read. Not a problem. I can just point and click, you know, and simple as that. Your client knows exactly where you're pointing, exactly what you need to work on, or exactly where you need to look. Peace of mind. We can also just go back and then we can start selecting different things. You can see here that I could just go click on the mouse. Another feature, which is great, is a keyboard. So we are a worldwide business. We handle clients using different sort of keyboard layouts. We have, as I mentioned before, with one company, they have operators in different countries. They might be speaking different languages. They might be using a different keyboard. In such instances, we can actually choose what sort of keyboard layout it is. Is it our local one, or is it the remote one that we're using? So in the case of many of our Asian clients, they might have completely different characters that they have on their keyboard. Not a problem. We can change that. Simple as that. We also have the Control-Alt-Delete and some other commands just for ease of mind. So you can go into Task Manager, you can do what you need to do. And the best feature, Enable Clipboard. I can just copy this, not a problem. And now I have it on my PC. So just up here, I'll show you here. I can select this. I can Control-C it, Control-V it on mine, and we're good to go. Other handy one is print screen. So maybe the client does have an issue and we might need to get log files at a further point. It doesn't hinder any sort of, it doesn't really, it's not a bad thing if we also get a print screen of this. You know, it might help an operator at a later date go, yeah, I see it in the log files, but you know, I can't visualize it. Not a problem. You can do it all from here. So on top of that, we have a perfect feature, which is actually quite competitive. Not many others have this. What we can do is that we can see his system information. Okay, so this is fantastic if we need to check if maybe his computer is slow, and especially with the help desk, just checking checking the hardware is quintessential, especially with the network. You know, the client says, oh, I have trouble connecting, ISL Online's terrible, and then you see on network and everything's 0.1 kilobytes per second. Well, you know, it's probably a network, and we can see this easily. We can also see the storage, what monitors, the resolution, the operating system, all your bits and bobs. From here, we can also have the remote log, but I'll show you how to get it another way in just a sec. We also have a detailed report. I won't click on it because it's a lot of information that you can check at a later date. So now that's there. what we also have is a really great tool, especially for larger corporations where an IT department is handling all of their employees' computers. We have administration mode. So it allows us, or allows the operator, to log into the computer of their employer or employee or whatever it might be and do the necessary updates or install some brand new software like ISL Online, just saying, and they can easily restart it and update, and voila, you can get back into it. We also have some modes of reboot into safe mode, just in case you need to do some BIOS or whatever you need to do.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe one quick note on this, Will. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, of course.
This basically lets you see the UAC on Windows. So the operator will be able then to click yes and perform any admin task for, even if they're connected to a non-admin user. So in this case, Will's connected to me and I am an admin user, so it's already enabled. But if I wasn't, he'd be able to enable it, enter the credentials himself for the domain admin or whatever it is, and then you'll be able to see the UAC and perform any admin tasks.
Perfect. One other tool that was released quite recently is the request remote sound. So this is quite handy, especially if you're working on a video or whatnot, or if someone's streaming something and says, hey, check out this, and they don't want to send you it because it's too large. Not a problem. You can connect with them. You can click on request remote sound, and I can hear exactly what Joe's playing. So this is a handy little tool. We also have what I mentioned before with select region. So I can choose monitor 1 and monitor 2, but I can also just decide that, Joe, maybe he doesn't want to, or I don't want him to see anything else on my computer. So I can just select the browser, or I can select the application that needs fixing, or whatever it might be. You have that there. I'm going to come back to this set unattended access in just a little bit. Before I do, Phil, do you have any questions?
No, I was just saying that select the actual area sounds pretty good, because obviously we don't want to see Joe's personal private browsing history and stuff like that, do we? And especially what he was talking about on the pre-show as well. So.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so otherwise, to be honest, it looks like pretty straightforward, to be honest. It looks like you've thought of most things in the software. I'll let you get back to the demonstration anyway, but yeah, I just wanted to mention about Joe's personal browsing history. It's
thanks, Phil. Appreciate it.
I hope you've got plenty of family and friends watching.
So another handy feature that we have is session recording. I'll come back to this as well, only because I want to point out these settings before I go into session recording. Okay, so right now you might have seen that I changed this at the very beginning. So by default, all right, you can select what you want, speed or quality optimize. So if you are wanting something, or the operator and the client just wants a fast resolution, they don't need to see everything and all the detail, we go speed optimized, and you might notice that there is a bit of a decrease in the quality, as you can see here. It's a bit blurry, but you can do your work. All right, it's a bit faster, and it gets the job done. But in the case that you might have a graphic designer, or you might need to see some details, or you might need to see this beautiful homepage, not a problem. What we can do is we can just go back and select quality optimized. But in saying that, and this ties in with session recording, especially for large corporations that will do automatic session recording. They don't want to, record 4K. It's useless. So what we can do is we can actually choose exactly what we want the quality to be. In the case that you're running Windows XP, or you're running something that you do not need to see the graphics, you can put this on the lowest of the low, and then boom, you can hold more of these sessions, and it is much more secure because it's all there in your servers or wherever you choose to save this. Okay, now we have the session recording. So once I press this, it will automatically go to the default pathway that's set. You can also change this in the settings. Okay. So that's pretty much all of the features right now, apart from one. So I mentioned before, set unattended access. Okay. Before I do this, I want to add my computer to ISL Lite through the application. Okay. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit this session. Actually, no, you know what? I'm not going to exit this session. I'm just going to minimize it. We can do this without it. So I am now logged in to ISL Lite. You can see right here under the on-demand support, we have one session already running. If I click on computers, right now I have nothing. So what I can do easily is I can just add this computer, and it's going to tell me, oh, Will, you need to type in the admin password. Not a problem. You type in the admin password and it's going to say grant access. Absolutely. I allow access to this one, which means that now this computer, through the application, which I can access either through the web client or I can download ISL Lite, all I can do is I can access this from my home. I can access this from my friend's computer. Boom. Just remember these three. So you have remote access enabled, desktop sharing enabled, and file sharing, that's up to you, enabled. But before you do anything, make sure to click save, okay? Because now we have this computer added. If I refresh this now, you can see right here everything that you need for this computer. And it will give us a couple of options, which I'll show you at a later date. So now you've seen how to add the computer that you're using to save for a later date. I'll show you how to add Joe's computer during a session. It's very, very easy. So now I'm in this session with Joe. I click on the little tool. I go set unintended access, and here it gives me a little pop-up. It says alias. What do I want to call it? Well, I want to call it Joe. That's it, because I'm going to add some tags and I might add them to some groups. Right now you saw that I only have one group. That's just all computers. I can customize that to my choosing. All right. Now what I need to do is I need to add a password. So I'm going to add a password really quick. And then I need to just make sure that it's the right one. And it wasn't the right one. Okay, and now what I can do is I can add some tags so I can find it easily at a later date. So I'm going to put UK because Joe's in the UK. All right, I might be helping him at a different point. I want to find the computer. He's also working from home. So I might use a little acronym, not a problem. I might spell it out, whatever you choose. Okay, and then I'll put techie. There you go. So I can see who's using it and whatnot. So then I click on it, and you should. Now I have access to Joe's computer. All right, so what I can do is we'll just let it load because you'll see that it'll come up in just a sec. Joe, can I? Here we go.
Let me pop it on the other screen. Hang on. So this little box comes up and I can run that application and install it, which I'm doing just now. Sorry, it's on two screens, so it's a bit awkward, but here we go. Get a little grant access button, which I can click grant access to, and now Will has access to my computer.
So right now we've done that, and I say, oh, Joe, we ended the session and I forgot to give you a file. And he goes, oh, no problem. I don't want to enter the session code. Can you just connect and do it yourself? Yeah, not a problem. So I just click end this session, okay? And then I go back to my application, and here we go. We see Joe. But before that, I might have thousands of computers. So to easily search, I can just put UK, and it'll come up with what the tag was before. I can also, as I mentioned before, add it to a group, okay? So I can add the group and I put UK, okay? Perfect. There's no computers there. I can easily drag and drop him into here. But in this case, he's an admin, so I won't go into that. I can also change the group here as well, and I can change the owner. Okay, so you can see here, move Joe to group. Perfect. Now you'll see that there's one computer under the UK group. And I can search him using any of the tags that I used before. So if you have enabled RDP, now's your chance to connect via the tunnel. Okay, so if you need to customize this, do as you please. You can also upgrade ISL Always On, which is unintended access, this way as well. Right now, I'll click on it. I have to enter that password that I mentioned before, if I do remember it. Oh, I've got big fat fingers, so I apologize for typing 1,000 letters all at once. Oh, there we go.
I set the simpler one that we talked about earlier. If you want to try that.
No worries. Okay, before I connect to him, what I can do is I can actually choose some options. So we can have a small footprint. And as I mentioned before with the stream remote sounds, if he's showing me the video and he goes, quick, 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 connect to my computer, I could just enable this and boom, we're ready to go and I can hear. I'm also going to stream in best quality so you guys can see what's going on. And I can also connect to existing RDP if I need to in any case, and it can be much, much faster. I can also enable black screen so that Joe doesn't know what I'm doing on his PC. He might be doing something else. I can do it, and he doesn't need to go through all this script. He knows that I'm on the session. I want to make this clear. It's completely transparent. You can enable this, and he can actually press the space bar or click and it will say black screen disappearing. So again, you have peace of mind that no one's trying to get your information without you knowing. We also have download client, okay, and leave background on with the remote desktop. So I'll just for this example, I'll stream in best quality and I'll download client. So I connect with him. I typed in the password, boom, we're connecting, and we will be in any second. There we go. So I choose to view the remote desktop. He'll allow it.
Yeah, it allows automatically. It was just taking a moment. Of course, it's a live demo. Everything goes smoothly, right?
Yeah, I'm going to say it's always the case. If it's going to go wrong, it'll go wrong. A bit like I had an issue with my camera right before we started the show. It decided to just zoom straight into my nostrils, which is not the best view.
So now that I'm in his session, okay, I can do what I need to do. Let's say I've resolved this, okay? I might have some additional settings that I would like to display. So this is the ISL Lite, and we have the settings here, and we can go through all of them. But in this case, what I want to just draw your attention to is always on. Okay, so in this instance, I'm just going to look at the ISL always on settings, and I'll show you when it comes up. I just have to type in the password, so just bear with me. All right, so now I have now I am in ISL always on. That's the unattended access. I can see that this computer, the one that I'm using, okay, I can see that I have one user, okay, and that is myself that we just added just before. Now, if I log in to Joe's, I open his ISL always on settings, you'll be able to see Joe's computer there, and you'll be able to also see that ISL Online at protonmail.com is also there as one of the users. Okay. What we also have, just in case, we have email notifications. If you're away from your computer and you want to know what's going on and you don't have the luxury of, checking it out, you can though, because we do support mobile and iOS devices. But if so, you can see that there's a successful start of desktop sharing and a successful stop of desktop sharing. Okay, and just below it as well, we have something that is fantastic. So I have enabled it. Joe didn't for this instance. What you can do is you can show that there is an incoming connection. So if you're working on something, or if you're in a meeting and your IT department doesn't know what's going on, they've been told, hey, can you just update these computers? And they say, yep, no worries. And you need to do things. You can't just allow someone to enter your computer, even if it's for an update or something like that. You can show notification of incoming connection, and you can see the timeout, and you can choose what you need to. And maybe Joe, would you like to explain a bit more about some other features that are here?
Yeah, so I saw that. You saw the comment as well, Phil. Clearly, I think with the notification of incoming connection, that shows a notification on the remote user's screen so that they can accept your connection and you'll be connected to them. But also, some companies like to lock the computer, so to go back to the login screen on Windows. And in that case, you can decide to do that when the session starts, or when there's no internet connection. Maybe if the internet connection crashes, you don't want to just leave a Windows computer logged in. Perhaps it might be part of your security policy to not do so, in which case the setting there will make sure it goes back to the login screen after the disconnection. And then also equally important, after the session ends, you don't want to accidentally leave your techie logged in or leave somebody logged in to the Windows account. that isn't secure in case somebody walks past and they can just use that user. So you can enable the setting to lock the computer when the session ends as well. So with a mixture of these, whatever your security policy dictates, it can probably be achieved through these settings.
Perfect. For David, David G. Withers. Unfortunately, I can't zoom in on this, and I won't touch the settings so that it's accessible and zoomed in for now. But you know what? Take the free pay-per-use token, and you'll be able to chop and change the settings that you like and see what we have available. So what we're looking at right now under session is just showing the notification of incoming connection, and also how many seconds for the notification timeout, amongst other things that are here. We won't go all into the bibs and bobs. You know, there's a bit of curiosity behind that I'll leave to you guys. So before we continue on to something else, does anyone have any questions so far?
Might be a slight delay from them. There's no questions from me. Yeah, the writing's a little bit small on the screen, as you said. There's not much you can do about that, unfortunately. It's just the way text is, and obviously streaming it as well. So it can look a little bit blurred. So as these asked, if anyone's got any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, we'll go to them after the show.
I've got a question, actually. Will, could you show me how I would share my computers across several users on my account, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely.
For example, if I'm a big company and I want to share access to a certain department's computers, how would I go about that?
Okay, so you can do it a couple of ways. You can do it through the web client. So all we need to do is just you can go back to the home page, and if you're on a friend's computer or whatever it might be, you're at a computer that's unknown to you, you can just log in this way, and then you'll be able to see your computers. But for this instance, let's use our application. So we've mentioned before that, you know, Joe's I've added Joe. So what we can do is, if Joe is like me and he might be a technician that has admin rights and he wants to see all the groups that I have, I can share what I need to. I can share the individual computer by just saying change owner, move to group, and also share. So just as we had before, so you can see in the drop-down menu that we have a couple of options. This list might be huge. You can chop and choose what you would like to select, and then you can share it with whoever you need to, all right, in terms of moving or I suppose migrating, or maybe even onboarding a new technician. You know, that technician previous can just send all of the computers to the new guy. Not a problem, peace of mind. What we can also do is we can share groups. So right now we have UK. Maybe everyone in the UK that's working for ISL Online needs to, I need to access their computers to send them a birthday message. I just want to give them a photo, whatever it might be, you know, or I'm trying to give it to another partner of mine, or whatever the instance. I can share this easily, and I can share the group to a specific user. So in this case, unfortunately, we just have me there. But again, you can have everyone under all of your list of computers, and you can chop and choose exactly which operator or user you need to share this with. Okay. Joe, have I missed anything?
No, that's perfect. Maybe I'll add to it though a little bit. If since we're talking about larger companies that might have thousands of computers, the natural question that might come up is, how do we go about installing this and granting access to all our users? It sounds like a mammoth task, right? But we have the capability to make a custom installer which will grant access to your user or to your users, in which case you can instantly deploy the application across hundreds, thousands of computers and have them instantly appear in your list, and then you can go ahead and group them and share the access out as you need to. So you can create user groups and share them out to different groups of users, and make sure whoever needs access to certain groups of computers will have it. We tried to make it as simple as possible with, as Will briefly mentioned, with onboarding and offboarding users. We want to make sure that you know who has access to those computers, and make sure they should have access to those computers. And this lets you manage that perfectly.
Absolutely, you spot on the money. I just saw Marianne Rhodes' question. I'm a sole trader going to be taking on more remote work. What is the best option you have for this type of setup? So I would recommend personally, take the trial, see if you really love it, you become familiar with it, and then in this case, I would just choose our hosted service. You can pick 1 year. It's quite cheap for what you get, and everything's included. So that's great, and that means that you can provide support, or you can check on your computer, or if you're a sole trader, you can access it from any location in the world. And Richard, just above, you said, is this product written from the ground up, or does it use TeamViewer backend? Great question. We are written from the ground up. So we were one of the pioneers of this technology. We started developing this in 1999, and then we released it in 2001. So it is proudly produced by ISL Online. We don't use any other sort of foreign code. Okay.
I do have a few other questions coming actually through direct messages, so they've not shown up on the chat there. Obviously, you've already answered Marianne and Richard on there. And obviously, one just popped up from Kevin. It's about the pricing. I think that's the most common thing everyone seems to be messaging me at the moment, is how much does it cost?
Well, we have a couple of different options. So we have our pay-per-use coupon. As Philip said before, this is around about 70 odd pounds. We do provide pricing, but we'll stick to the UK pounds in this instance. So right here, simple prices, no surprises. What you purchase is concurrent sessions. And if you missed my explanation before, it means that you have unlimited users, unlimited devices, but you're capped at one concurrent session as the operator per, I suppose, per license. We also have the option here with our cloud, it's £259 for multi-session. Now, I'll explain what multi-session is. If you're a one-man band, okay, and you're trying to hold 3 or 4 sessions at any one time, I mentioned before that you can only do it once concurrently. Well, the great thing with multi-session is that if you add this on top of the £259 for the cloud, it means that you, as the sole operator, can start as many sessions as you want. The only time that you need to get another license is when you want another operator to jump on with you or to start their own sessions. Okay, so that's what we mean by concurrent sessions. We also have... Yeah, Joe?
It's worth noting here that all of our packages don't limit you on the amount of users that you have, and also the amount of unattended computers that you have. That's completely limitless on whatever you buy. So there are certainly other products on the market that will cap you on so many users or so many computers. That's not the case here. The only thing that we're capping you on is the amount of simultaneous sessions, remote desktop sessions that you're running. So basically, if you only ever need one connection running at any one time, you're only going to need one license at the most. You could also, the pay-per-use coupon might suit you as well. If you're connecting very infrequently, then just pay as you go. It's 500 minutes for £70, and you can give that a good go with the offer that we're giving you today. But yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that was
Phil,
pretty good. Sorry to interrupt. I just want to make it clear to the guys, if you can't see that writing, the price is per year, not per month, like a lot of websites say, okay? So that's, if you went for the cloud one, it's £259 per year, not £259 per month, then billed yearly, or something daft like that, like some places... not naming TeamViewer or anything, like to say, but their price is per month, and a lot of them go down per month, but you have to pay for a year up front. So that's £259. And on top of that, if you use that code, which I'll put in the chat again, so here we go, or not the code, but you get the 500 minutes free token. Basically, the amount of profit you can make on that 500 minutes token, you can then afford to buy that £259 one. Or just on top of it. So for that, okay, I'm doing your job for you here, guys, selling your product. But for that 500 minutes, you can do quite a few remote supports, and the amount you'd make on doing that, you should be able to afford the cloud option, which £259, and there's like really no extras on top of that by the looks of it, or at least I can see anyway.
The only add-on for this, what I mentioned before with multi-session, if you just look just below here, it's £89 per license per year. If you have 2 licenses that you bought with our cloud, all right, that'll be 2 times 89. Easy, simple. Okay. On top of this, okay, if you want to just pay once and forget about it, and then just maybe have some updates at a later point, you can choose our self-hosted solution. So you pay per license for a lifetime. And that's what I was going at the beginning, is that we were an OEM integrated into known solutions. So this is what we allowed. We allowed for the purchase of these lifetime licenses so that a company can go, you know what, I want 3, I want peace of mind, that's all I'll pay. Okay, we do have updates and maintenance that we need to do to stay ahead of the game, and in that case, we do charge what we call ESS, which is extended support service, and this you can get per year on top of it, but at a fraction of the cost. Joe, remind me, what is the ESS for self-hosted? Do you know what that is? In pounds?
The price, yeah, it's £89. Yeah, the same as the multi-session. It's non-mandatory, but you pay £89 per license, and if you want upgrades and updates for the year, and also extensive support from us, that's all included. So it works out to about 15% of your license costs per year. But as I said, it's completely non-mandatory. So if you want to skip a year or whatever, we don't recommend it because we'd like you to update your software, and I would suggest that you do that for security reasons. But it's your software, you do as you wish.
Right, you've got a question coming in from Peter as well. I don't know if you guys obviously built in with any other RMM tools or anything along that lines.
So there's an integration into a product called Managed Workplace, which is currently run by Barracuda. It used to be owned by Avast and AVG. So that's one tool that we're integrated into. We don't manage the licensing for that. Other integrations are possible, and they've been done by other companies. Some of them, a lot of them are used privately, so they're not necessarily available to the public. But we're doing one shortly with Remote Desktop Manager, and hopefully we'll see many more come in the future. But importantly, for those of you that might want to set up your own integration, we'll happily support you to do that via our API and our incredible support team, which will help you to do whatever you need to do.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. Do you want me to carry on asking you guys questions, or do you want to carry on?
Yeah, please go ahead.
I have one from Kevin Price. So it's just about the pricing. You see here, so for one concurrent session, it's $259. For 2, it's another £89 on top of that. Unfortunately not. For every concurrent session, it's £259. The £89 is for multi-session, which means one operator can support multiple computers at the same time or hold multiple sessions. But if you do need another operator on top of the one that is currently using all of these other computers, then what you can do is you can purchase another license at $259. I hope that clarifies it. There is a bit of confusion there, but multi-session allows one operator to support multiple sessions, and per license, you can have one operator using whatever you need to use. Okay?
Yeah, and Kevin, what I'd suggest you do if you are interested is at the bottom right-hand corner of our website is just covered by that the green bar here, but there's a live chat button there. It says chat with us. Please come and click on that, talk to one of our operators, give us your use case, tell us how many operators you've got, who's connected at the same time, how often you're running multiple sessions from one computer. We'll ask you all the right questions and we'll give you an accurate figure. It's hard because there's so many different use cases to give you an accurate quote overall. But the best we can do is give you the best information. But I really would recommend just talking to us, because we'll probably be able to snap our fingers and give you an accurate figure in a matter of minutes.
Absolutely.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. You've got another question from Call Me as well. He's not flirting for a change. So I'm not sure if you guys know, if a business client wants to remote into one computer, can you resell a seat, if you get what I mean? I don't know if you understand that one, or if he needs to clarify yourself a little bit more.
If a business client wants to remote into one computer, can you resell a seat? So he wants to share access to somebody else outside of his company, I believe. Yeah, we probably need a bit more information on that, but you can invite other people to a session, and potentially you could set them up with a user. As I said before, it's unlimited the amount of users you have on your account. So if somebody needs an extra user, it's not going to cost you anything. The only time it costs you is if they're connected at the same time as you from a different computer. Then you'll need a license each.
Exactly.
Okay, sounds pretty good. Another question I've got coming from a private chat was, do you offer reselling support? So, for example, if someone wanted to sort of resell it to another business or something along that side of things.
So we do have a partner program, and you're more than happy to get in touch with us. But right now, if you just have one client lined up and that's it, and you say, "Oh, I have a friend," it's better to point them in the direction of purchasing through the online online shop, and it's much easier. However, if you are reselling a lot of softwares or hardwares or whatever it might be, yes, absolutely, you would be more than willing to have you join our team. We have about 30 plus partners worldwide, and we are expanding. So we are more than happy to come in and start a collaboration with you. Just click on the live chat, send us an email, and we'll get chatting and see what your company's like, who you are as a person, and then hopefully we can start some sort of collaboration.
Yeah, this is another case of reach out to our team, and we'll probably be able to sort something out.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. That pretty much answers that one. Again, guys, if you're in chat and you're listening, watching, well, hopefully you are, feel free to ask any questions. You can even ask Joe what he's having for his tea tonight if you really want to, or what he's already eaten probably. Feel free to ask, and obviously they'll reply to the best ability and so forth for you. One of the other questions, and I think it's related to the question about reselling, do you offer affiliation selling or links? So obviously if they pass on your details to someone else, do they get commission for it or something along that lines?
We don't currently have anything like that in place, but if it was something to do with again, this is something we'd have to talk about with a potential business arrangement. Maybe it's something that could be considered. I'm not sure. I'm not the one to answer it, but again, speak to our team, and I'm sure we'll be able to have a chat about it.
Yeah, sounds like you guys are willing to go the extra mile anyway, that's for sure. So again, guys, if you are in chat, just make sure you do give the software a go. It's a free trial. It won't cost you a penny. And if you use the token, which is basically gives you 500 minutes of free time using the software, which is worth 70 quid. Just email the support ISLonline.com, and they'll basically give you 50 minutes free of using the software, and that's worth 70 quid. And for the amount of money you can make just using that for that 500 minutes, you could easily buy a cloud license or even probably a self-hosted license or whatever you wanted at the sort of profit you should be making on there. I'll pass that back over to you now, Will. I think you were going to say something then.
Yes. One thing that I wanted to mention, I did say before that we have multiple solutions. One being our SaaS, one being our self-hosted, and the other one being the MPC. Okay, so this is on a base on a company to company, depending on the requirements, depending on what they need, and it's from project to project. So if you do need a managed private cloud, then come contact us and we can talk about your use case. In these cases, we do try and reserve these for a larger number of concurrent sessions at any one time, mainly because we're managing it for you. We are a nice company and we are expanding, but if everyone chooses an MPC and everyone says, hey, please, manage it for us, we're not going to have any time to do these presentations for you. We're just going to be supporting our users and that's it. But saying that, we're actually fantastic at customer support. Come on, we'll resolve the issue within 48 hours, if not sooner. And on top of that, check out what our users think of us. We have multiple reviews on Capterra or G2, even Trust Radius, saying fantastic things about us. And we've also featured on a nice reputable magazine in Germany, and we're one of the winners for the remote desktop industry. So you can check that out for yourself, or better yet, come and chat with us on live chat, and I'm sure we'll be able to go through all the details with you. If you did want the pricing for MPC, as I mentioned, it's project to project. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask you about your use case, your requirements. Should you have any customization? Should you need premium support? You know, you get my phone number. Perfect. You know, you can call me at 4 a.m. and say, Will, get on your computer. This is busted. Okay, fine, I'll do it. That's what you're paying for. Okay, but in that case, that's why we do reserve it for more enterprise or multinational corporations, because it's using a larger number of employees or operators, and it's also geo-dispersed. Okay, so I mentioned before that we have one company that has multiple different countries that are using the managed private cloud at any one point. All right, so that means that we try to set up some data centers for you, or some servers in those data centers that try to connect those countries together, and meaning that you can have a high standard of security. You can have other integrations like Azure AD, SAML integration, and all your bits and bobs. Okay, if you do want the price, come let us know, and we're more than happy to give it to you when we find out more about why you need it.
Yeah, and for those high security conscious companies, a lot of them like to keep their data completely in their own environment and in their own borders. Perhaps that could be literal borders between countries, or within your own network environment, in which case MPC is perfect because we can put the servers where you need them. And same for self-hosted, really. If you're able and have a team that are able to maintain your service, then that's also an option for you. But long story short, again, come chat to us. We'll give you the perfect solution. Our licensing model is really flexible and can accommodate any size company.
Okay, sounds pretty good. William Murd did actually say, while we had the chat turned off earlier on, he basically says, great software, love it, reliable, and very reasonably priced. And anyone in the Tech for Tech group will probably know
Thank
William
you very much.
So obviously, glowing a recommendation there for you. And Kevin's another ask about price, unfortunately. Is there any discounts through Tech for Tech? Sorry if someone's got to ask. I'm not proud. Okay. So,
Not a problem.
Yeah, at the moment, I'll just put it up on screen again. It's not really a discount, but it's more of a free offer is probably the best way of putting it. So you're getting 500 minutes free, and you can get that on top of the free trial, so it's not going to cost you anything, so you can give it a go, and the amount of money you're going to make from that should be able to allow you to afford to go for the pay-per-use or the cloud. I'm going to say 70 quid for the pay-per-use is pretty cheap, and that's for a year, and then you've got the cloud option as well, which is £259, and again, that's for a year. That's, to me, seems very cheap. Obviously, if you want multiple users, that's going to obviously cost you a little bit more. I'll let you fill the rest in, Will, if you've got any more you would like to add
no
on
problem.
that one.
The reason why we're not offering the discount and we're just giving you the token is because we actually have integrated discounts within our online shop. Okay, so what we can do is I'll just I think my screen disappeared. Do you mind if you put it back? Perfect.
There we go.
What we have is two different types of discounts. We have a volume discount. So if you purchase 3 to 9 licenses, you'll get 10% off. And you'll have 9 to I think it was 25, I believe, Joe.
I believe so, yeah.
So 9 to 25 licenses, you get, I think, 15% off on total. And then for 25 plus, then you get the 20%. On top of this, we also have the yearly discounts. If you purchase 1 license, okay, for 3 years, we're going to give you even further discount. And yes, Kevin, these discounts stack. Okay, so you can have yearly and volume at the same time. Okay, if you love us and you say, yep, I am committed to you, perfect. You can knuckle down on a 3-year SaaS cloud license, and you might choose 3 of them. Awesome. So now you've had 20% back in your back pocket. You can invest it elsewhere, maybe get some nice GME shares, and boom, you're ready to go.
I think you've sold it there. Right, if anyone else has got any more questions, quickly send them through because we'll be ending the show shortly. So if you've got anything else you would like to add, feel free. William and Joe, do you have anything else you would like to obviously address or mention?
Maybe just again to reiterate, if you do go ahead and try a free trial with us, please make use of our support team, because really that's one of the biggest values about being with ISL Online is we are always at your fingertips. You can chat to us so easily through our live chat, and you'll find that the experience of being able to do that makes using the software so much easier, and we can customize and tailor everything to however you want it to be and however it should be for your company. We take it really seriously, so please do try and make most of it.
Okay, sounds pretty good. I do have one more question, which has come through on my personal chat again. I don't know why they don't want to post it on the channel, but does the customization, so like the white labeling, cost extra, or is that built into the standard price?
So for any cloud users, we won't charge you anything. We'll add your logo and your colors completely for free, and we'll help any self-hosted users to do that as well. For OEM integrations, as it gets a bit more technical, there may be a cost associated with that. As Will said, this is when we give you your tailored cost, so that gets included in that. But let's say for your average user, no, we won't charge you anything for that. It's completely free.
That's pretty good, because a lot of different places do charge that as a premium extra, is probably the best way of putting it. But they charge you probably twice as much the price of the actual software for actually having it customized, which is a little bit confusing sometimes, but there we go. Right, it doesn't look like we've got any more people asking any questions. So, guys, have you got anything else you would like to add before I call it a night?
Nothing from me, Will.
No, I think I've said my piece. Come and try it.
Okay. I think we're all sorted there then. So, right, okay. So I would like to say thank you, obviously, for Will and Joe for joining tonight, and obviously the guys at ISL for agreeing to be on the show, and especially for Joe for sharing his personal history on his browser for everyone to see. You're going to get in trouble tomorrow. Right, okay. So if you are an independent trader, distributor, vendor, store owner, MSP tech, anything along that lines, and you want to find out more information about Tech for Techs, you can go to techfortechs.co.uk/join. Join over 1,200 members just like you that give you free tech and business advice. And did I say it's totally free with no membership fees or costs to you? Make sure you tune in next Thursday at 8 p.m. We'll be having our standard Tech Talk show, and we'll be discussing all the latest topics going off. And when you do click on that link to join Tech for Techs, which is techfortechs.co.uk/join, make sure you fill in the questions, because if you don't fill in the questions, we ain't going to let you in. It's as simple as that. So please make sure you fill in the questions, otherwise you don't get in. Okay, so thanks for watching, and thanks for supporting independent businesses. See you next time. Night, everyone.